A shopkeeper who feared that the riots had put him out of business says there's new hope a year on from the disturbances. AJ Bhatia became a symbol of Britain's shopkeepers who'd suffered at the hands of the looters. You might remember that his general store was visited by the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Will and Kate.
Well, our special correspondent Peter Wilson has been investigating how communities are rebuilding a year on from the riots.
On the 9th of August last year, 70 youngsters stormed a small general store on the outskirts of Birmingham city centre. Up to £20,000 worth of stock and fittings simply disappeared. One of the looters was just 10 years old.
They put me out of business. They were being penalised. The parents were being ashamed. I mean, they didn't just thought what's going to happen next, just for a sneaker bar or just for a chocolate.
The business had only just started. AJ Bhatia had sunk his life savings into it. Afterwards, trade fell by 30%.
Just 3 months ago, I came to the shop because Mr. Bhatia was saying that he was going to be forced out of business. He was a sick man. The shelves were almost empty, but today is a different story. He's back on his feet, and so is the business.
William and Kate visited Maccan Express. The City Council and the banks have made an effort to help keep the business afloat.
There was a petition signed by about 500 people that this shop should not be closed, and we need the shop. So that's what we are trying now, to give them more and more services, whatever we can do.
Another town, another business. In Wolverhampton, Louise Johnson came to fame as she confronted looters and refused to let them trash her hair salon. One girl actually threatened her with a hammer.
At the time, I was more frightened of losing my business than frightened of the rioters. When I look back now, I think it was quite crazy.
Her business has survived and prospered.
I think the sentence that they've been given, I think, has shocked a lot of people. They got a very harsh sentence, very harsh. So I hope it's a lesson for the younger generation coming up.
Last August, this police station was on fire, an example of just how bad things got on those hot summer nights.
This police station is closed to the public, but a neighbourhood policing team are based inside. Some parts of the community actually say that they're no longer looking to agencies like local government or the police to fix things. They're trying to do that themselves.
Birmingham is the youngest city in Europe. Under 25s make up nearly 40% of the population. Handsworth in the past has been a flashpoint, but last August, Lozells remained calm and peaceful.
Today and in the riots last summer, Lozells did not have one report of public disorder. Clearly shows we've moved on from some of the issues in the past, and relations today are far better than they have been in the past.
Aspire and Succeed is a self-funding youth organisation tucked away off the main Lozells Road. It's helping to keep youngsters away from gangs and to boost their chances of success.
These kids are all round about 13 years old. Last August, they took part in special patrols which were organised between the local community and the police to reassure people that the riots weren't going to come to Lozells.
One reason for that was the work of this man.
We're active citizens as well. You know, we could go around and tell our neighbours that, you know what, we're not involved. This neighbourhood is our neighbourhood, it's our community. I know we protect it together with the help of police. We're not vigilantes. We're not going to go out and try and get revenge, but we're going to try and do the right thing.
Police cutbacks, councils pulling funding. Since last August, there's less options for young people. But the work of this youth project shows that communities can make a difference for themselves. And as Mr. Bhatia says, there's always hope when you have faith. Peter Wilson, BBC Midlands Today, Birmingham.
Well, joining us now is Staurt Griffiths, who's chair of the South Side Birmingham Improvement District Board in Birmingham. Thanks for joining us, Staurt. Can you explain how BID, as it's known, came to be formed?
Yes, I mean, there are 4 in the city centre, actually 5 now. The jewellery quarter's joined us, and it's businesses within a defined area. vote to create this thing called a Business Improvement District, which is an independent body, encouraged by the City Council, it has to be said, and they vote to create this thing, and then each business then contributes a relatively modest amount, which goes into a pot. It's a not-for-profit organisation. That money is then spent on...
Prompted by the riots?
No, it was in existence before the riots, but only just before.
Yeah, and what happens then?
Well, each business contributes to that pot, and that money can then be spent on improving the local area. And certainly that sort of really came to the fore following the riots, because we had quite a few businesses were affected by that in the South Side area. And so we were able to respond to that as a community, if you like, through a sort of cohesive strategy to help people recover. We were able to point in the direction of funding, which could help businesses recover and improve their security and so forth as well. But I think a lot of it was also to do with about just knowing there are people there to help support each other in a way.
So how successful has it been?
Well, I'd like to think it's very successful. It's ongoing. We're on a 5-year term here, but I think it's proved in a way, the response to the riots kind of really proved it. I think that it really could have a very, very positive impact. And the proof of the pudding's in the eating. At the end of the term, everyone gets to vote again. So obviously, if the bid needs to do a good job to prove to people that it's worth contributing to in the future. It
sounds a bit like a neighbourhood watch scheme for businesses and shops.
A little bit, although there's a substantial budget to spend. We've got sort of £500,000 or so over that period, and that can make an improvement, a really significant improvement. And the 4 bids across the city centre represent about 90% of the businesses in the city centre. So it's a powerful force as well, both for lobbying and also for marketing and promoting the areas within the city as well.
And clearly a great comfort as well, all of the business involved.
Well, we hope so. Yes.
Yeah, Stuart, thanks very much indeed. Thank you.